Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Hello and welcome to the second game of Group A for the Dota 2 Bot Masters. On the Radiant side we have Army Bots, and on the Dire side we have my local development script is Edge AI. I didn't make it. Oh wow, we actually nearly sabotaged the whole thing. Because we need to be in a broadcast channel as the cameraman. We're not playing in this. Army Bots versus Edge AI. What we have here is the highest seed team in the entire game against the lowest seed team in the entire tournament. And immediately we see Army Bots start picking up a couple of heroes. They have Dazzle, Lycan, Beastmaster, Enigma, and their final choice, I believe it's Invoker. One interesting thing about Army Bots is they will always pick these 5 heroes if they can. And the thing about a specialist team is you can do certain stuff, like you can sit there and you can script 100 situations or thoughts or item builds for Invoker, and you don't have to worry about the other 100 heroes. So the Army Bots benefits from the sense that it's not trying to play every hero, it just needs to play 5. Smoked up immediately is Edge AI. Their picks are Arc Warden, Terrorblade, Winter Wyvern, Io, and Magnus. So it looks to me like Edge AI is sitting here and saying, look at me. I can play the most complex heroes in the game. Short of picking Meepo, I'm not sure if you could have asked for a fancier lineup. Smoke pops, so the Arc Warden runs in, puts down a little ghost, and he's fighting the Lycan. Doesn't bait him into tower range, but he is beating him up. Oh, we've got a scrap on this rune as well. Terrorblade's getting really low. That starting armor of 9, not enough to help him. Ooh, Lycan tanks 2 tower shots. That might change the game. Dazzle tanks the ghost for him, but now Dazzle's in trouble. Think he's away? Oh, maybe. Dazzle runs back in, trying to catch all the action. What we've also seen here is something we might not have seen in the last game, but didn't pay much attention to it. Warding. We can see that is an interesting ward choice. That to me implies that there used to be a high ground cliff here, but the map changes have occurred. Or it's just, that's what they've done. Edge AI not going for any of the bounty runes, instead sort of being chased to the tier 3s. Army Bots has given them a run for their money already. Io Magnus as your offlane. Arc Warden mid, pretty standard. Wyvern, Terrorblade. I mean, the Terrorblade can't leave the base. He's getting chased by... I mean, it's not Ice Ice Ice, but it's Army Bots' Ice 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 take on Enigma. Which leaves all 4 bounty runes.
Elemental gold.
At least 3 of the 4 bounty runes unclaimed. Enigma snags 1, the rest untouched. Ooh, sorry, forgot to put the last hit counter on. So Invoker off to a good start. Arc Warden really wants to be denying that ranged creep. Please, Arc Warden? Please? Ooh, come on. Think of the level advantage he'll give you. Okay, he denies one of the ranged creeps, but not the other one. Let's have a look at top lane. Terrorblade was at a weird start. Seems to have recovered now, has 3 CS. Running in. The boars are definitely going to change this encounter for the worse. Beastmaster getting low. In comes the Winter Blast. Can they finish him? That's tower damage, Terrorblade. That's heavy. Ooh, he's dead to the tower. First blood for Army Bots. The lowest seed team in the whole tournament. First blood's the highest seed team in the whole tournament. That's spicy. In the other lanes, we have Lycan farming up, not a storm, but farming up a little bit, 4 CS. Invoker dumpstering the Arc Warden mid. If you watched Alan Analyst, that's his name, Mr. Analyst. If you watched his video where he talks about how bad the army bots are, he made out as if they didn't have a chance in this group. But they're currently just under a 1k gold lead over the favourites to win the whole tournament. If this doesn't do anything, it reveals to me that this is anyone's tournament. You just can't trust the seedings. Got a very calm laning stage. 3 minutes with just 1 kill. And it was Terrorblade feeding to the tower effectively. He's finished his Wraith Band. Wyvern looking for a Null Talisman. Beastmaster has no items. Beastmaster has no items. Beastmaster has no items. Enigma dies. Beastmaster has no items. Yeah, Beastmaster has no items. Invoker hits the tower once. Has this Arc Warden low on his last legs. This Invoker is well positioned. 16 CS to the Arc Warden's 9. Definitely winning mid. Harassment War dominant 2. Bot lane, it looks like the Io is farming just as much as the Magnus, which I don't think is what you want. Grabs up a Bracer. Lycan's got Boots, Blightstone. Dazzle has no items. Let me just have a look at the net worth. Because Beastmaster is your 3 position question mark? He has no items. Where has his money gone? He has 60 gold, but where is the rest of his money? Enigma getting dove, but it's really just this Terrorblade not respecting the towers. Wyvern tries to heal him, but is dying to the Eidolons. Back to the CS, we shall go. I miss a Dazzle kill. Unfortunate. An Empowered Magnus, overcharged by the Io. Not overcharged, but the Io hasn't skilled it. An Empowered Magnus with a Shockwave, enough to finish off a low HP Dazzle. Invoker diving the tower. I missed a kill on the Beastmaster.
Your true self at last.
That Beastmaster kill happened mid. Invoker is under the area between the tier 1 and the tier 2. He's farming the creeps, he's not fighting the Arc Warden. He has his little regen orbs and a tango going, so he's healthy despite this. But I don't know if you can sit there and fight an Arc Warden under the tier 2. Now he's tanking it! Arc Warden baits him in and he's dead. And this lane is back favoured to the Arc Warden now. Because he's level 6, the Invoker's going to come back halfway past level 5. Ooh, spicy. So both kills, well not both kills, but oh my god! Army bots have 4 heroes mid. Taking a lot of damage on the Dazzle. So here's the thing. If you ram 5 heroes down mid at 5 minutes and you see what happens, that can either work or it cannot work. Dazzle dies to the tower. If this was one of those death ball metas, this could have been a lot stronger of a move. Terrorblade comes in, transforms, bashes the Enigma, one more hit and he's dead. Now the TB runs in, fighting the Beastmaster. He has no items. Lycan looks to be the next victim. Beastmaster survives, Lycan survives, but the Invoker's now going to have to tank the Terrorblade. Invoker's... he's not going to get out of this one. All of a sudden, 5 heroes matched by Edge AI. The tower is nearly dead, but what does it cost you? Fight recap didn't really include much of the fight. Double damage on the TB. They might get the tier 1 of their own. They're saying, listen, if you send 5 heroes mid, we're going to send 5 heroes mid. You put our tower to 23, we'll put your tower to negative 23, and it'll be dead. I also want to just have a look at the level situation. Because as I expected, the Radiant heroes are really far behind on their levels. XP and Gold Graph heavily favouring the dire side now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
2k gold leave at 7 minutes is not as much of a stomp as we saw in another game in Group A. Am I spoiling games that have already happened in Group A? Is that something I'm doing? Terrorblade is ruined as he TP's top. That was very optimistic. That's 2 kills on a Terrorblade. He is the opposite of an MVP this game. Beastmaster has no items. He's an easy pick-off for the Arc Warden. Now you've got 2 level 7 Arc Wardens fighting a level 4 Lycan, level 5 Dazzle. Invoker and Wyvern join in. Rave onto the Lycan, keep him alive for a second longer, but not too long. Dazzle with a big heal, but now he's dead. Invoker needs to get out. TP's on call. He has 18 TP scroll. Beastmaster has 15 TP scroll. To anyone who went earlier, I said, where is Beastmaster's money going? And they said, open your eyes, he has, at the time, maybe 8, 9, 10 TP scrolls. I apologize. But the average amount of TP scrolls carried on this team is in the double digits. We've got 15, 4, 15, 12, and 18. You get one when you die, you get one when the game starts, but that's not where this is from. Sorry, I caught the end of these 2 kills here. I believe the Beastmaster's going to die. Ooh, the Dazzle might have just saved him. The Beastmaster does not return the favour of saving Dazzle, but instead body blocks and gets out anyway with the heal. Both heroes live. I expected both to die, to be honest. Wyvern's clapping in the mid lane. Premature celebration of a victory that they've not yet earned, but they are quite far ahead. And if the itemization of the enemy team continues to just be Beastmaster buying a teleport scroll every time he gets 100 gold, I can only assume that this game is as good as over, which is a shame, because we saw some excellent play from army bots. We saw how they got the first blood, we saw how they pushed the Terrorblade away from the lane. Enigma dies to a ghost, as does the itemless Beastmaster. Eidolons get cleaned up. Triple kill for the Arc Warden, who we can only assume in terms of net worth is now very far ahead. The Invoker is genuinely playing well. He only has 22 TP scrolls and a Glove of Haste, and despite that, it's top 3 on the net worth. Damage down on the tower. They took mid, now they're taking bot. A conditioned and deliberate attempt to restrict the map away from the Radiant side. They glyph it up, it's just delaying the inevitable. Have they started getting neutral items, is a question. And the answer is no.
Radiant's bottom
Dazzle's
tower
running
has
mid,
fallen.
Magnus runs away because the Dazzle's a higher level than the Magnus. This Magnus has not had a good lane. Or a game, rather. You're level 5 at
Dire's
11
structures
minutes.
are fortified.
I can't imagine they're happy with that.
Price.
Army Bots is doing what it does best. It's grouping up with a large number of heroes mid, trying to get a push going with the catapult. Lycan dies top.
A wyvern's wisdom is not to be.
Looks like the Wyvern just soloed him. Invoker with a little meatball deafening blast combo. Magnus draws him back. Ghosts on him, that'll slow him, and with 3 heroes in pursuit, he does die. What began as an army bot's favoured game, in the sense that they were making the moves and they were doing some interesting stuff, and I was like, hang on a second, are these guys gonna win? Unfortunately, has begun to turn into a bit of a dumpster fire.
I'll hurry my fool to his spiky end.
Facing the Dazzle is 3. Are they going to keep going? They're not. Army Bots has got this good mid ward it keeps going, and it's got this terrible stair ward that it's going. Edge
Radiant
AI
structures are
has,
fortified.
I'd say, acceptable wards. This is a lovely, a delicious, aggressive ward. If you have good knowledge of the map,
Radiant's
it
top
lets the
tower has
AI
fallen.
scripts do good work with what they know. They take the top tower, and they're pushing again as 5 now in the top lane. However, Army Bots looks like it's 5-manning bot. Have a look at the last hits. Invoker's actually top. So we're seeing some bad last hitting coming out from Edge AI. This is not good last hitting. 12 minutes, 30 CS? That's not very good. We saw in the previous game, where it was a beginner AI against the medium default Valve bots, their Shadow Fiend had 50 denies at 10 minutes. He was going for it. Magnus skewers him back. They're under the tower. The little balls from the Wisp come through. Grave doesn't quite save him. The rest of the fight's not looking good either. The Wisp gets a juicy little relocate to save the Magnus. But the fight is not over yet. The relocate will reappear. Enigma is deep under the tower. He's alone in the middle of 4 heroes. Skewer, and he's dead. 3 more kills for the side of Edge AI. Hunting the Invoker, perhaps? He's there, he's invis, but he's not very fast. All he has to his name is 28 teleport scrolls. They're all just buying teleport scrolls. At first I doubted it, and I was thinking, you know what, this is anyone's tournament. Army bots could go the whole way and win if this is how they're treating the tier 1 top dog team of the whole tournament. Having seen how they spend their money, I can understand now why they are the bottom seed in the whole tournament. They just won't buy items. Terrorblade's pushing bot alone. This is a great opportunity for a pick-off, but unfortunately, Army bots are just sort of cowering in the base. They're only level 5. Here's that initiation we talked about, but the Wisp just runs him away. I don't know if they'd win this fight anyway. An overpowered, transformed TB gets taken mid. There you go, TB. Have a good one. I will say, Edge AI has not used Wisp as bad as I'd expected it would have. When you're picking up heroes like Arcward and Terrorblade, Wisp, I'm imagining some of the worst stuff possible. I'm thinking that you're going to like sunder yourself to 20% health. I'm thinking you're going to relocate yourself into the enemy fountain. They've not done anything that clowny. The Terrorblade definitely did not perform how he should in the lane. Here comes some ghosts. They don't have items, so they are an easy pick-off. We're just really waiting at this point for when Edge AI stops playing with their food and finishes the game. Bot tier 2 is getting pushed by the Magnus. He's not really your pusher. The warding is dominant. They have vision of everywhere they need it to be. The only thing they're missing is sort of something in this kind of general area. Do I have a way to draw on the map? No, I can ping though. I pinged. And here we go. Army bots does take out a tier 2 mid. And here's the thing, just the willingness to group up as 5 and force towers down with heroes that are good at pushing. I can see why Army bots got an invitation to the tournament, and I can also see how and why they are the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Every catapult wave, they want a building. Dazzle's graving to tank the tower so that the catapult lives longer. Not sure if that's the call. But they're taking a tier 3. Like, don't get me wrong, they're taking a tier 3. Forcing Edge AI back. There goes another kill. But they're taking a tier 3. They're going for a way to win this game. They're trying to get some buildings. Invoker's about to die to the building, as well as Winter Wyvern sneaks in at the bottom of the screen. This Lycan is showed up in the wrong neighborhood. Survives thanks to his giant speed. But if every 5 minutes you go for something, and across these 3 pushes they have almost took a Rax, at 20 minutes I imagine that push will take a Rax. That's not good enough to beat Edge AI, I'm sure of it. But it might be able to take out some of the other teams. army bots might not be
Not so fast.
helpless here. The Valve medium bots did look helpless. I mean, right now he looks helpless. That was just a double kill for Terrorblade, just taken. Oh, it's like every 5 minutes they get a good push, and then
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
it's just nothing good happens outside of that. Melee Rack's getting focused for the Arc Warden. Doesn't have a clone to double up the push speed. Invoker lands a good meteor, but with 40 teleport scrolls. If somebody took the army bots and they taught them how to build items, I think they could be a force to be reckoned with. But they're just
You're safe.
building teleport scrolls. What are they doing? This is 32 teleport scrolls, 21 teleport scrolls, 35 teleport scrolls with no items, no boots, 26 teleport scrolls with, like,
Radiant's bottom
half
tower
of a
has
soul
fallen.
ring. It's what a soul ring used to be, I believe. And then Gloves of Haste into 43 teleport scrolls. The last hit counter is not very good. We'll go back to net worth, but the net worth is clearly now that dominant screen of 5 heroes above 5 heroes. An 11k gold net worth lead. Army bots were looking good early. They were in the lead early, but they just didn't do anything with it. Mid push now. I would like it if they glyphed the wave to get a better push going, because now they're just going to tank some of the tower. Wyvern solo pushing bot. Terrorblade not jungling, but running around the jungle.
Regeneration.
Picks up a regen rune. Look at the levels real quick. It's just Invoker's their only hope, really. It's the only hero that really had a good time. I believe his net worth is still... It's not still in there.
Radiant's
But there
middle
was a
tower
point when he
has
was top
fallen.
3 net worths. Army bots have now decided to 5-man push top. They want objectives, and they're going for objectives. And look at how fast the objectives fall. Lightstone, summons, get it all together, bash the Howl out. Oh, he doesn't have Summon Wall. He doesn't have Summon Wall.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
He didn't skill Summon Wall. The Death Ball on the other side, however, wants mid-racks. Arc Warden's sort of just running around doing nothing. It's like he might be thinking about defending top. Edge AI not willing to commit to the push. However, Army Bots has nothing but commitment to the push. They're willing to die to the towers for their push. Wish they took it mid, because that's already dying. Cleaning out the creep wave. Can they get enough building damage? I mean, Grave, not bad. Ghost will pick him off, though.
My god, it's full of stars.
Lycan chasing into the base. I mean, if they want to push, I'd rather they just pushed. Dazzle goes for heal, but the Invoker's going to die to the tower.
That's a 2.
I mean, it's just Arc Warden defending this. The rest of the team's here now, and now it's clean up. Immediate execution. Army Bots has gotten 2,100 health off of this tower, and 2,100 health off of this tower. If they'd just gone for one lane, this extra 2,100 could have been 400 on this, and 2,200 on this, and they could have cleaned it up. They could have cleaned up 1 Rax. They could have been the first team to get a Rax if they'd chosen mid instead. Neither team has a Rax yet, which is not good, but it was a 5-man wipe because the Invoker died, but it was to the tower a little bit before everything began. Ooh. Edge AI is scripted to take Roche. Now that is game change. Oh, never mind, they're all leaving. Oh, they're all going back in. They can't figure out who tanks it, that's their problem. This might be why they're #1 seed, because to take Roche, that's a big deal. It's 200 gold for every hero, or it might have changed to be honest. And the Aegis gives someone a second life. They don't look like they're willing to commit to it, and I'm not sure why. I think they're torn between Roche logic and 5-man fight mid. Ooh, they've also got a lot of TPs coming bot because they can see this Beastmaster's out of position. He hasn't skilled Raw. He doesn't have any items, and he's dead. But the Magnus gets caught mid.
Ennobles us all.
You've got army bots, they're charging down mid lane with a catapult. It is yet another catapult push. And Edge AI doesn't have any teleports outside of Arc Warden. TB used his, Wyvern used hers, Io used its. Arc Warden's TPing back, but
Dire's
Tower's
middle
dead.
tower has fallen.
Can they get a Rax? Step up on the high ground, please. You don't have the 50% miss chance. Here comes the Ghost.
Safe word.
Meteor, comboed. Dazzle, flick anything.
My God.
Gets a heal.
Stars.
Focus down as well.
That's a twofer.
As crazy as it sounds, whilst the game is clearly so far Edge AI favoured, in terms of building damage, Army Bots is ahead, just. Because there's 500 on the mid, but there's 300 on the top. Mid's dead, top's dead. Army Bots has done a better job pushing than Edge AI has, with a 14k gold lead. And Army Bots doesn't have items. It just has TP scrolls.
Bravely mistaken.
I feel like Army Bots is the skeleton of what was a good bot, but so many years have passed that the game is so different that it doesn't have the ability to do that anymore. Terrorblade, again, tanking unneeded tower damage. This is what gave away First Blood to Terrorblade. You need to clean that up, because right now, in my opinion, I think a beginner AI is favoured to be Edge AI. Having seen both teams compete against a less than powerful team. Here comes the top push, tower down.
Dire's top tower
They're on the
has
racks.
fallen.
This is unhealable damage on the ranged racks. This ranged racks is dead. Now for the melee.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
Army Bots might pull this game off, because Edge AI is failing a Roche again. Now they're killing the Roche, that's a lot of damage, but now they're running out, and now they're running back in. Just stay in there and hit it, and it will go
Dire's
better.
top barracks has fallen.
The entire top racks has fallen, and they've come mid. So you've almost got Roche, but what's it cost you? If you had a lineup which had like an Ursa or a Troll or something that's good at taking Roche, I would understand this. But they're struggling to take that Roche with the way they're behaving, and now it's middle racks. And middle racks is looking like it might die here. The ranged is gone, the melee
Dire's
is there.
middle barracks are under attack.
They're not
Dire's
doing
middle
anything
barracks
to
has
stop
fallen.
this. Just running around Roche. Magnus is getting
Dire's
harassed
middle
by
barracks
this, and
has fallen.
I mean it's 2 racks for army bots. This is big. 2 racks is a game-ending style lead. Let's just have a look at the graph. That is a humongous swing of gold advantage. But we can assume they've only spent it on TP scrolls, which they... Oh! Enigma Border Midas. So if they get enough money, they will buy the proper item. But if they only have a little bit, they'll buy a TP. And here comes
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
the death of Roche, but they've left the Aegis on the floor.
Subtle self.
Edge AI needs to get something done, because this army bot death ball is now bot. Lycan has
Dire's
reached the
bottom
point where
tower
he's
is under
forced to
attack.
skill wolves. They're not going to glyph this, even though glyphing it is the correct choice, because with a
Dire's
tier 1 dart, oh, they did
structures
glyph it, they did
are
glyph it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But Edge AI needs to do something quick.
Dire's bottom tower
They're
has
2 racks
fallen.
down, they're 10k gold up, but in reality, they're more like 40k gold up. Magnus, stuck by himself, gets picked off again. Army bots with the Death Ball is proving a little bit... Oh, Dazzle gets Winter's Cursed and dies.
Dire's middle tower
Now
is
they've
under
turned up
attack.
to defend,
It's full of
and it's a
stars.
5-man wipe.
Chosen one.
Please show me the recap. Show me the recap, not of the Magnus dying,
Dire's
of
middle
that
tower
fight.
is under attack.
Please. They are losing tier 4s to a catapult. This is dangerous. I don't know how to get that fight to show up,
Dire's
the one that
middle tower
actually
is
just
under attack.
happened. They're pushing bot, but is that going to do anything? Here's the fight recap. 2600 gold swing, 5 kills. Huge damage coming out from the Arc Warden and the IO. The Magnus died before it started, so it was a 4v5 and a full-on cleanup. Now, this might be game-ending for army bots because they are trying to deathball bot, and so is EdgeAI.
Dire's middle tower
But
is
this
under
team
attack.
just has 2
Dire's
Midases to its name.
structures are fortified.
It uses its Midas. Ooh, Meteor, Deafening Blast. It's not enough damage because he doesn't have any items. Lycan's tanking the front, dies. Next one tanks the front, dies. Enigma is next on the menu.
Full of stars.
Dire's middle
They're going to
tower
keep
is
chasing.
under attack.
Sort of. If or
Radiant's
mid
bottom
dying,
tower
but if
is under
army
attack.
bots had maybe deathballed top, that might have been the play. Now it looks like they're definitely getting ranked. EdgeAI is clawing
Radiant's
back
bottom
the
tower
comeback.
has
They're
fallen.
not letting this comeback happen.
Radiant's
the
bottom
levels.
barracks are under attack.
Super far ahead on the levels. Magnus has had a dumpster game. This
Radiant's
guy has
bottom
not had a
barracks
good
has
game at
fallen.
all. Didn't
Radiant's
come up
bottom
to CS
barracks
this
has
wave
fallen.
either. Botrax is
Dire's middle
gone.
tower is under attack.
The Magnus play has been the worst, which is strange because Magnus isn't a particularly complex hero to operate compared to something like
Dire's
Arc Warden
middle
or
tower
Terrorblade.
has fallen. Dire's
Terrorblade's got his
middle tower
Manta.
is under attack.
I wonder how they do it because when you watch proper streams, right, someone buys an item, it pings on the right side. It's like cha-ching, Yasha was bought. How do I get that to happen? Maybe I shouldn't be selecting cameraman.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh,
Radiant's
Oh.
middle barracks are under attack.
I just saw the Magnus blink appeared there.
Radiant's middle barracks.
I think it's
has
been
fallen.
doing it the whole time, but I've just not been paying enough
Radiant's
attention.
middle barracks has fallen.
Second Rex goes down for EdgeAI. It looks like they're refusing to let this game go on any longer, but they have
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
they
Dire's
have
middle
caused a
tower is
problem
under
for
attack.
themselves because they came into this tournament. Alan, the analyst, said that these were the favourites to win the whole thing, and they do not look like the favourites to win the whole thing. They lost 2 racks. They
Radiant's
had some
middle
poor
tower is
decision
under
making.
attack.
They struggled at
Radiant's middle
Roche.
tower has fallen.
They've won this game,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
but it did not look easy for
Radiant's
them
ancient is under attack.
against a team that did not buy any items. I mean, you got a Beastmaster with 69 TP scrolls, nice, and 2 dust.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
The Ancient is tanked down, and your victors
Dire
of
victory.
Group A's second group stage match are EdgeAI, but it was not the performance that we expected from them. The scoreboard, 43-3, makes it seem dominant, but it was not nearly as dominant as it should have been against a team that doesn't buy items and, I mean, didn't skill certain ultimates. That should have been a wash for them, and they lost 2 racks. The defense level was very poor. They had almost no inkling to come back and defend themselves. Magnus had a trash game, died multiple times, hanging out by himself. Terrorblade had a decent game towards the end, but at the first, he was like... In the first second of the game, he was stuck under his own tier 3. Enigma had zoned him out of the game. Then he fed First Blood to the tower for no reason whatsoever. Terrorblade, I can't give you the MVP on that team. I think I'm going to give it to the Arc Warden. Arc Warden had a great lane, good farm, 16 kills, 26 KDA involvement. Invoker has to be the MVP for army bots because He was top 3 on the net worth despite buying only TP scrolls and being in a losing game. If we have a look at the graphs, we see a similar story. ArmyBots gets that very early lead, and that absolutely baited me into thinking they were going to win. I'm like, holy crap, ArmyBots is winning the early game against the best team. They've got this in the bag, but they didn't. Huge comeback swing here. This is when they got 2 racks, and then Edgeo was like, that's it, enough playing around, we'll finally kill Roche, not pick the Aegis up, and end it. And so they did. Your player net worths are Invoker top of the whole game until about 6 minutes, and then stays in 3rd for a long time, begins to slip away, and at that point it's just 5 on 5. Invoker does come back in at the end, sort of overtaking the Magnus. More of a testament to how bad Magnus's game was. This was not the showing that you wanted if you're EdgeAI. You need to go back to the drawing board, pick different heroes, pick different strategies, because you might get away with this stuff in the group stage. Come playoffs, you don't want to end up thrown into the lower bracket or eliminated from the tournament because you picked Arc Warden, Terrorblade, Io, Magnus, and you didn't know what you were doing on it. Thank you very much for joining me on this episode of the group stage. This game was a spicy one. Thank you for joining me. Bye.